Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Lexington Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. This board is comprised of town citizens. We are appointed by town council and we serve without pay. We are a legal board operating under the Comprehensive Planning Act of the state of South Carolina. Although this meeting may not seem as formal as a hearing in court, all statements must still be true, factual, and not made in a manner to mislead us. Please understand that if we must make our decisions within the parameters of state law. State law requires us to grant a variance if and only if we find that each of the following four statements are true. Number one, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to a particular piece of property in question because of its size, shape, or topography. Number two, these conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. Number three, because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. Number four, the authorization of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by granting the variance. Moreover, state law prohibits us from granting a variance simply because the property could be used more profitably if the variance were granted. We are not concerned with the use of the property. Use of the property is determined by others. We ask that you please confine your remarks to the issues at hand. Should we make a decision you believe is incorrect, you may appeal our decision to the circuit court within certain time limits by state law. In cases such as that an appeal is made, it is important that the circuit court know who testified. At this meeting, please sign the sign-in sheet and identify yourself before speaking. Call the meeting to order. Before we start, I'd like to make an announcement for the record. I'd like to state that Dawn Weatherly, formerly of this board, has resigned her position due to the fact she's recently been appointed to the Columbia Metropolitan Airport Commission. We appreciate her service to this community and to this board. With that being said, old business. Jessica.
On February 1st, 2024, the board approved variance 2023-8. That's an error on my part. From section 154.05.10J of the Land Development Ordinance, conditioned upon the applicant Storage Units of Lexington LLC completing engineering, permitting, and right-of-way acquisition for a planned right turn lane as an alternative transportation improvement, and that ordinance was in regards to connectivity. Since the approval, the town is considering plans for a larger transportation improvement at this intersection. Because of this larger scale improvement, the original condition requiring the applicant to provide engineering and permitting services is no longer relevant. The applicant is requesting the board to consider revising the conditions of the variance to reflect this change. Specifically, it may be appropriate to modify the condition to require the applicant to obtain and convey any additional right-of-way needed to complete the town's future project in lieu of the prior engineering and permitting requirement.
Alrighty. So, do we need to hear from the applicant on this?
They're here if they would like to speak.
Good day, I'm Tom Britt, representing the applicant. I spoke before you last year on this. Todd Lucas, who was also here last time, fully intended to be here, but he's been homesick for the last 3 days and couldn't.
Glad he stayed home.
From Florida. So I think Jessica explained the details of the situation. The project has changed. The right-of-way acquisition, we basically were asked to acquire approximately 136 feet of frontage on Sunset Boulevard, and now it's 266, so it's almost doubled. Project formulation has also changed in that the engineering and permitting that we agreed to do wouldn't be meaningless, and so we're asking that those two elements be taken away from the original agreement, or whatever the process is. We'd like the original agreement to be modified to only include land acquisition and surveying also, because that's associated with it. the net gain to the town is very significant. The value of engineering and permitting was far less than the additional cost of the additional land acquisition. So we think this is a positive for the town. We ask that you approve the request.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
No.
Anyone here to speak against or for this change? Randy, do you have anything you'd like to share? And for the record, just state your position as well.
Randy Edwards, Director of Transportation, Town of Lexington. So just for clarity, the original approval, I guess, from this body was based upon what we refer to as local transportation improvement project number, and I honestly don't remember the number, but it was at the Hope Ferry intersection identifying the need for a right turn lane. Since then, we've begun the process of developing a local transportation improvement plan, second edition, which has identified that the original project was not going to really do a lot. And so with this, after speaking with the landowner, it was discussed as to the options to actually be able to obtain the additional land. And so that's where the genesis of how this all came to be, to where it didn't make much sense to finish the engineering permitting for a project that essentially we wouldn't build. And so this will position us to actually move forward on that piece when funds are identified and made available.
Any questions for Randy?
No.
Thank you, Randy. So do I have a motion for the amendment, correct?
Yes, yeah, so you would make if you're in favor of that or want to amend.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion to replace the conditional statement of variance 2023-8 with the following. The variance is conditioned on the applicant obtaining and conveying any additional right-of-way and performing any surveying needed to complete the town's future transportation projects at this intersection. Further, the approval of the variance will expire should there be a change of ownership or usage on the adjacent property.
Do we need to identify an expiration, a time frame? Okay. Is that?
I wouldn't think so.
No, I get that. Is that a good, okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Ron Fisher,
Yes to the motion?
Troy White,
Yes to the motion.
Justin Brown.
Yes to the motion.
The amendment is passed.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Do we have a motion to approve minutes from our meeting? Is it April?
April 2nd.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any news from the town, or from staff that I need to be aware of?
No, sir.
No August meeting we discussed earlier, but we will have at least two items for September.
Correct.
And that is the 4th, September the 4th.
Yes.
Correct.
Cool. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.